Everyone avoided him. The man with metal hands made everyone uncomfortable. But when someone finally approached, what he saw would shock everyone in that small town, because no one knew who Blake Morrison really was. And that day, everyone would find out. In this story, you'll witness not just a moment in a hardware store, but the revelation of a heroism story hidden for years. Sometimes real warriors live quietly among us, until their past finally catches up with them. Daniel's Hardware on Main Street was the heart of Millfield's small-town life. Everyone came here, from farmers to mechanics, housewives to retirees. But for the past 3 years, people had been avoiding the clerk in aisle 3. Blake Morrison, 26, was quiet and hardworking, but what made people uncomfortable wasn't his hands themselves. It was what his metal hands could do. The advanced prosthetic hands moved almost like real ones. His fingers were made of metal components, his wrists connected by mechanical joints, functional, effective, but unsettling to those who saw them. That Tuesday morning when Derek Palmer walked into the store and saw Blake in the aisle, he immediately changed course. "Excuse me," Derek said to store owner Frank Daniels. "Could someone else help me? That guy with the hands. I have kids here." Frank nodded and looked at Blake. He'd been dealing with this situation for 3 years. Blake was a perfect employee, reliable, knowledgeable, kind, but people were uncomfortable. Blake had heard it too. He always heard it. "No problem, Frank," Blake said quietly. "I'll work in the back." This was Blake's daily routine. When customers came, step back, avoid making them uncomfortable with his metal hands, do his work quietly. During lunch break, Blake sat alone at the small table behind the store, his metal hands resting on the table, trying to eat his sandwich, just like every day. "Must be difficult," said a voice. Blake looked up. A middle-aged man stood across from him, about 34-35, short hair, military-bearing. Cole Henderson had come to the store to buy screws. "Yeah, a little," Blake said cautiously. Cole sat down at the table. "How long has it been?" Blake was surprised. Most people didn't ask questions. They just looked and walked away. 3 years. "How did you— Were you in Afghanistan?" Cole asked directly. Blake's heart stopped. No one had asked this. For 3 years, no one had guessed. "Yes," Blake whispered. Cole's face changed. Respect, understanding, something more, recognition. "Which unit?" "3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, Helmand Province." Cole exhaled. "I was 2nd Battalion, same area, same time period." Both fell silent. Afghanistan, Helmand, IEDs, friends, losses. "How did it happen?" Cole asked slowly. Blake opened his hands on the table, metal fingers, mechanical wrists. "Convoy, November 2021. IED went off. I was lucky, only lost my hands. The others—" He couldn't finish the sentence. Cole nodded. "Purple Heart?" "Yeah, but nobody here knows. They don't want to know either." That's when Cole stood up. He lifted Blake's arm, searching his rolled-up sleeve, and he saw it. A faded old tattoo. Eagle, globe, and anchor. Marine Corps emblem. "Semper Fi, brother," Cole said, his voice strong. Blake's eyes filled with tears. For 3 years, no one had said those words. "Semper Fi," he replied. Cole turned and walked to the front of the store. Blake followed behind. "Excuse me," Cole said loud enough for everyone in the store to hear. "Can I have everyone's attention? The man in the back, Blake Morrison, he's a Marine. He fought for our country in Afghanistan. These hands," Cole pointed to Blake's metal hands, "these are badges of honor. These are war wounds." The store fell silent. "For 3 years, you've treated him differently. You avoid him, you look away. But he sacrificed his hands for your freedom." Derek Palmer stepped forward, his face red. I didn't know. Now you know, and you can apologize to him. Derek approached Blake. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't know you were a Marine. I was a Marine. Frank Daniels also approached. Blake, why didn't you ever tell us? Because people only see the hands, not who I am. From that day on, everything changed in Millfield. Blake no longer hid. He worked proudly with his metal hands. People looked at him differently, not with pity, but with respect. When Derek Palmer's son, Jake, came up to Blake and asked, "How do those metal hands work?" Blake smiled and showed him. Cole Henderson had also become a regular customer. Every week, he'd come and share Afghanistan memories with Blake. And at Daniels Hardware in Aisle 3, no one avoided him anymore, because now they knew who Blake Morrison was. A Marine, a hero, a brother. Never judge someone by their appearance. Sometimes the strongest people live with the deepest wounds, and sometimes real heroes live quietly among us, selling hardware with metal hands. Did this story touch you? Tell us in the comments what city you're watching from. If you believe real hero stories need to be heard, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. At Tales of Valor, we share unforgettable stories every day. See you in the next story.